If you were sitting with me looking at the ephemeris this week, you would see that Tuesday is absolutely jam packed. It has a literal parade of aspects all day long, leading up to the solar eclipse in Leo on Wednesday. The question that I believe the cosmos is asking us to consider is if you are too future oriented. So this is a little bit of a hard topic to speak about this week because it's a little bit complex, but this is what the cosmos is screaming at me and what I want to share with you. So in the ephemeris, or when you look at the planets, you often go into the day and you see what aspects are being made, right? And this kind of creates the conversation, the tension, the energy. And Tuesday is just insane. It is just heavily filled with a lot of aspects. And then it leads up to Wednesday. We're a little bit less in terms of aspects occurs, but then also has the solar eclipse. It's an invitation to look at how each day carries different weight in your life and the pressure you put on specific pieces of your life. The invitation is to process yourself and your relationship to time. And every person, every being has an orientation internally to time, an awareness of yesterday, today, and tomorrow, or the past, the present, and the future. And well, technically, we should acknowledge your body is always in present time. Like, just please pause and just realize your body has never not been in present time. You haven't never lost your body. You can't. That's like the most ridiculous thing. But you can lose your mind, and you can lose your connection, and you can lose your soul in a lot of ways. And then at the same time, you can't, because I'm saying, like, there's always this presence to the soul and the body at the moment where everything converged, but it doesn't change the reality that we drift in and out in a way. And so this is why I'm saying it's challenging to talk about, because there's a lot of contradictions here, and there's a lot I want to say in a short amount of time that might come out contradictory. But it's a powerful week to just pause and look at past, present, future, and how you orientate yourself. A day is simply, the rising and setting of the sun. One cycle of day and night is just one day. And we live a day over and over and over and over and over and over. We use words to create weeks, to create months. We separated the days into 7 different types: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all of which were based on the planets that could be visibly seen in the sky by our ancestors. So sun, day, Saturn, day. All of these things are like in and around us everywhere we go. And yet, when we put pressure on one point of our being, like I'm seeing in the cosmos on Tuesdays, it's like, well, why does Tuesday have to carry that much weight? Why does this one part of your life have to mean so much? I think of people who have success in so many areas of life, but then they're so obsessed about this one area of life that isn't perfect for them yet. And you can become so focused on realities that don't exist or are disproportionately measured or weighed within yourself that you slip, you drift, you Tokyo-style drift your way away from the present moment, away from your power, away from reality, away from where you would see clearly, where you would feel connected. And it is a frustrating struggle. And I know that it is an inevitable struggle that will never just disappear. Do you see what I'm saying? They're always going to be working on your relationship with time. You're never going to trick time. You're never going to be bigger than time. You're never going to be able to control time. I think astrology is very humbling in the fact that, well, here that transit comes again. Wait, you thought you got out of Saturn returns, or you thought you got out of Chiron returns, or you thought you got out of Mars returns, or Pluto entering a new house. Like, it's gonna come, and our reaction, our awareness, our relationship to it is what changes our experience of the experience, which is just kind of so deep. So this has been on my heart and mind all week. And I think it was because sometimes when I go to look at the cosmos, it is so irritatingly accurate for what I'm going through that I kind of just laugh out loud. And for me personally, I work a lot with the day, and I work with giving meaning to each day, and each day has purpose, and each day carries weight. And I've been really working on, like, how can each day of my week carry an equal amount of weight so everything feels light and not heavy. And that's been my own kind of like personal thing that I've been working on for years, because managing the day is a very complicated task. With all the responsibilities we carry in this world. Anyways, Wednesday's always been my elusive day where I just like lose my shit, and I don't want to do anything on Wednesdays. And it's always funny because I'm like, why do I accomplish so little on Wednesdays? Like, what happens to me on Wednesdays that I can't, do as much on a Wednesday as I think Wednesdays should have? Whereas Wednesday's just like my day of like, I don't think so. And then I was looking at the cosmos and seeing Tuesday carrying so much weight, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, maybe Wednesday isn't lazy. Maybe Monday and Tuesday are too ambitious, and it's a really interesting thing because it shifts your perspective so fast from blaming something from not being good enough, or whatnot, to all of a sudden saying, oh my God, the problem, at least in my case, Wednesday was never a problem. Maybe Monday and Tuesday just did too much. And so Wednesday's like, I don't know what to do with this day. I think of it, and I always go back to management and working at Lush, but like in truth, the busiest month of the year in retail is December, right? And it starts at Black Friday, and it's called Black Friday because it's the first time most retail shops make any money or create any profit that sustains them. And so it's a really like sacred time for the business to thrive or to not. And over the years, because I worked so many holidays, so many times, I learned patterns in a really powerful way. And I started preparing for December and September eventually. Most managers didn't do that. But I would be, working with time differently because I was saying, okay, well, if we do a little bit of hiring here and we do a little bit of stocking here and we do a little bit of training here, it was so much so in these little bits that it never felt heavy at all to me. I was never like burnt out. I didn't look like the other managers. I was just smiling and having a good time because I just started walking towards that experience sooner than other people, but not in a crazy way, not in a like, I'll hire everyone in 1 week and do, 25, group interviews or something like that. But it is this idea of weight and lightness and time and not overstressing yourself in certain moments and evolving beyond the like, I'll do it all once and then it'll be done mentality. And this is Leo at its core. Leo is the leadership energy of the whole zodiac. It is saying, hey, you, leading is something you are, not something you do. A leader isn't the culmination of a bunch of behaviors that are done. A leader is just a way of being. It's just a way of relating. It's a way of showing up. And so this is why leadership and presence and charisma, and I think all of those kind of energies are so complicated and so hard to understand or to walk with. Like, why do Leos command the stage? Why do Leos shine their light so bright that it inspires 50% of the people and it intimidates the rest? Like, why does Leo have that power? And it doesn't come down to what they do. It comes down to who they are at their core, ruled by the sun, ruled by the heart. They are a childlike visionary in the most beautiful sense of they can dream unencumbered by the ego's, own negativity of this cannot be done. And so as we walk through this week and you're stepping into a week where, You're like, okay, let's feel the weight in each of these things that I do and how that I do them and in which days that I do them. And even if you just look at your life and you sit there for a minute and you say, am I giving like more weight to my career than, to my health? Or am I caring more about my professional network than my personal friendships? Or am I, whatever it is, there is 100% your choice to decide what matters to you and why it matters to you. And maybe some things will matter more to you than other things. That's perfectly fine. But I think making it conscious and making it a choice that and you're saying, yeah, I'm doing this because this matters to me in this way, or I'm letting Monday carry all this weight because I actually like doing nothing on a day, or whatever it be. It is about that invitation to awareness to lead yourself, because Leos get that in a way. And a new moon eclipse is always about setting an intention for your future, not dependent on the past. And so many people only can see the future depending on what they believe is true or could be true for them, not realizing that their mind would limit them, and not realizing that the older you get, the more programming has been put into you, the more experience you have, the more evidence you have, but the more blocks you have because you think you already know something. So this week, the AI prompt is going to take you into your chart to explore this eclipse, to see what it's doing in your chart, and to ask you to dream differently and to hold differently and to walk in rhythm and weight that means something different every day. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next week. Bye.